Welcome to another DK Custom Products video. My name's Kevin, this is Dwayne.
And today we're going to talk about loading a tri-glide. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because we don't just offer motorcycle parts, we offer free advice sometimes, because people, they know Kevin goes on trips biannually for 40 days at a time. A lot of times that means strapping down his bike or his trike. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of wrong ways to do it and very few right ways to do it. And that's what we're going to cover today: how to do it correctly and how to do it safely.
And it's not just if you're loading your trike or bike into a toy hauler. I mean, if your bike breaks down, you need to put it on a lawnmower trailer, flatbed trailer. There's ways to load it. There's ways to strap it down that work well, and others that don't work so well. And I think we've all seen bikes tipped over on a trailer.
Yeah, or blown fork seals, and
So-
just a lot of reasons why to strap it down correctly.
Yeah, so we're going to do the tri-glide first, and then we're going to do another video showing how to load a two-wheeler. So the first thing is, whether it's a toy hauler or any other kind of trailer, you want to get the ramp for the approach into the trailer as low as possible. So a lot of times you can back up into a hill so that your ramp is sort of on the slope of the hill. A lot of times you can put the tires of the trailer into like a gutter or a curb where it's lower. We're where we are right now, and so I'm just going to show you how we do it here. First thing we got to do, of course, if you have the trailer hooked up to a truck so that it's going to keep the trailer from moving, that's fine, but we're not hooked up to a truck now. So we're going to make sure our wheel chocks are in here real good, because we don't want this thing moving when we load up. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to get the front of the trailer as high as possible. To do that, I need to lower these jacks so that I can get the trailer nose up, get the back of the trailer down. Now we're going to go to the front, and we're going to load. We're going to put it as high as we can up front. And again, this is what you would do if you're hooked up to a truck. This is what you do with a flatbed trailer. You want to get the approach as little angle as possible. Now, a lot of trailers, no matter how much you get the tail end down, you might have to use some ramps to sort of make that approach even less. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and lower these back down so that it provides some stability when we get that 1,400-pound trike moving around in here. All right. So now, whether it's a flatbed or a toy hauler, you get your ramp set up. And see, I think that this is probably a gentle enough angle that I can go up without using any extra ramps. I'll show you some ramps here in a second. There are ramps that you can make out of wood. There are ramps that you can buy that extend, that are sloped. I'll show them to you. And they hold this ramp up like this, which makes it even less of an angle. So even though this particular situation we did not have to use ramps, I went ahead and set up the ramps so you can see how they work. This is for a tri-glide, where these slide. They have a little ledge right there, and these slide under there. So this is sitting on there. And then we built a little ramp for the front tire to go up. And so we're gonna go ahead and ride the trike right up in there and show you how to strap it down. So one thing to note, you notice that we used race ramps and they're nice. They're light and they're easy to pack up and they're expensive. I almost made some out of wood. Ones made out of wood will work just as well or better. They're heavier. I just didn't want to do it, so I got these race ramps. But obviously you can just take some 2x8s or 2x10s and build a ramp yourself. Lots of people have done it. It works perfectly fine, and it's a lot less expensive than these. So you see how easy it was? You just ride on up in here. What is important when loading onto a trailer is to know where the weight is on the trailer. So if you're on a flatbed trailer, one you use for ATVs or whatever, you don't want the weight too far back because you're going to get some wiggling action. You really want the weight as far forward as possible without putting too much tongue weight so that you get the best trailer handling with whatever vehicle you're pulling it with. Now, toy haulers are specifically made where the weight of the trailer is mostly up front, so you can put a heavy motorcycle in the back. And on mine, I put it far enough forward that everything can close up and doesn't hit this. I do take my antenna off so it doesn't scrape against the back, but I have about 4 or 5 inches between here. And you can see I don't put it further forward because I don't need to for weight distribution, and I want to leave as much living area for when we're on the road in the kitchen and everything. So I put it just a little bit past this right here, and then what we do is we tie down. If you look down here, Dwayne, so this hook right here is what we use to strap the bike down. On each side, there's a hook on each side. This is an unsuspended part, so it doesn't matter if we hit a bump and the suspension moves. It can move just like you're riding, but this stays secure, stays tight at all times. So we're going to put a strap on each side here. We're going to put a soft loop right around here, and then we're going to run a strap from here to here. So these are pulling forward slightly, and those are going to be pulling backward. So it keeps the trike from going side to side, and it keeps it from going front to back. So what I do up front is we put the ones up front on. You can see that they're pulling to the side and that they're pulling forward. Both of them are pulling forward. Not a lot, but it's enough. I put these and they're still fairly loose. Okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the back ones on, I'm going to tighten them down, and it will tighten these straps and make these straps even more of at an angle. So let's do the back ones. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go underneath and we're going to put this into the little ring that Harley makes specifically for tying these down. And in the back, we're going to cross them. So the one from that side of the axle is going to go to that tie down right there. And the one from that side of the axle is going to go to that tie down. And for those of you with tri-glides and freewheelers, you'll see that the strap is going against the muffler. We've traveled over 15,000 miles this way. It's never loosened the muffler, never had any kind of a problem at all. We have it strapped down, pulling to the side, and pulling forward. And then crisscrossed in the back, pulling back and to the side, back and to the side. It's not going to go this way. It's not going to go this way. One thing I do is when I stop for fuel, well, first of all, after 10 minutes, when we first take off, after 10 minutes, I come back and check everything. And then every time we stop for fuel, I check everything. Every now and then, I might have to tighten a strap 1 click or so, but like I said, we have over 15,000 miles doing this, no problems. You do have to put the bike in transport mode though, because the bike's going to be moving around in here. We have it strapped down by unsuspended parts. You notice nothing's coming off the handlebars. We don't want the straps to compress the suspension, so when you hit a bump, then the suspension collapses a little bit and then the straps are loose. And even if you have the safety straps where they won't come unhooked, when the straps are loose, the bike can then shift its position before the straps get tight again. So we have everything on unsuspended parts. So when we're going down the road, the bike is bouncing on its suspension like it normally does when you ride. And the alarm will go off. You won't know it because you're up in the truck, and then when you get to where you're going, your battery will be dead. So the way that you arm what's called transport mode on this 2019, and it's similar on all Harleys that have an alarm system, but look in your manual to see if yours might be a little different. You see right here, you're going to see the light flashing. That's because the alarm is on. So what you do is you turn this on, and then you turn it back off, and then before that light goes off, you hold both of your blinkers. And you'll see right now, transport mode enabled. Transport mode enabled. It is now in transport mode, and you can move it around and the alarm will not go off. The way you take it out of transport mode, you have your key fob with you. You have to have your key fob when you put it in transport mode, and then you have your key fob with you. You just turn the ignition on, it's out of transport mode. Let's see if I did a good job showing how it's to be done. What do you think the important things are?
Strapping it down safely. Zero movement from the place you strapped it down in. You want to strap below the suspension. You don't want to strap to any suspended parts, because, you know, let the suspension do its job.
What is important when loading onto a trailer is to know where the weight is on the trailer. So if you're on a flatbed trailer, one you use for ATVs or whatever, you don't want the weight too far back because you're going to get some wiggling action. You really want the weight as far forward as possible without putting too much tongue weight, so that you get the best trailer handling with whatever vehicle you're pulling it with. And put it in transport mode.
Put it in transport mode. You don't want a dead battery when you get there.
And then the other thing is making sure that that ramp is at a small enough angle that you don't scrape anything going in.
So if this video helped you out, give us a thumbs up.
Share it with your friends, probably be helpful to them.
Hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when our next video comes out.
And if you'd subscribe to our channel, we'd appreciate it a lot. It's free and it helps us out.
Y'all ride and strap your bike safely out there.
So we're going to be having a video coming out soon on what to know when you go from 2 wheels to 3.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
So look for that video coming soon. What's really interesting is today was your first time you've ridden a Trike.
I've sold thousands of Trike parts to thousands of people. That's the first time I've actually operated a Trike, and it was an experience.